This is section 3-5, credit cards. Our quote is, "Life was a lot simpler when what we honored was father and mother rather than all major credit cards." This is a typical example of how a lot of people are just honoring their credit cards more than anything else. The objectives of this unit are to define the basic vocabulary of credit cards and to compute an average daily balance. Some vocabulary terms that we need to be aware of. First, credit card. That's a plastic card that entitled its owner to make purchases and pay for them later. I think you all understand that. The Truth in Lending Act. This is a law that protects you if your card is lost or stolen with a maximum liability of $50. The Schumer box. This is a graphic that displays key information about their credit card fees in the same format so consumers can easily read it and compare credit cards. So if you're looking at different credit cards, this format will be the same. The Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. This law prohibits the creditor from harassing you or using unfair means to collect the amount owed. A debit card. This is a card that acts like an electronic check in that it uses money from your own bank account. Physically, it looks just like a credit card, however, it's taking money out of your own account. Electronic Funds Transfer Act. This law protects debit card users from unauthorized use of their cards. And then lastly, average daily balance. This is the average of the amounts you owed each day of the billing period. So let's look at an example. Frank lost his credit card in a local mall. He notified his creditor before the card was used. However, later in the day, someone found the card and charged $700 worth of hockey equipment on it. How much is Frank responsible for paying? Basically, he's responsible for nothing because he reported the loss before the card was used. Okay, so that's the key here, that he reported it before the card was used, so therefore he is not responsible for any amount of money. Let's look at another example. Carrie's credit card was stolen. She didn't realize it for days, at which point she notified her creditor. During that time, someone charged $2,000. How much is Carrie responsible for paying? Okay, so it's a little different here because she didn't notify her creditor right away because she didn't realize it had been stolen. And in the meantime, someone did use it and charged $2,000. So Carrie is responsible for only $50, okay? She didn't report it until after it had been used. That's why she is responsible for the $50, but no more than the $50. She is not responsible for the full $2,000 that was charged against her card. Credit card companies issue a monthly statement. Therefore, APR, or annual percentage rate, must be converted to a monthly percentage rate. If the APR is 21.6%, what is the monthly interest rate? Well, to get the monthly interest rate, you simply take the APR, okay, which in this case was 21.6, divide it by 12 months in a year, and you get the monthly interest rate in this particular case is 1.8%. Rebecca did not pay last month's credit card bill in full. Below is a list of Rebecca's daily balances for her last billing cycle. And you can see what the balance was and for how many days she owed it. Okay, so for example, for 7 days she owed $456.11. For 3 days, a different amount. For 6 days, a different amount. For 9 days, a different amount. And then for 5 days, a different amount. Find Rebecca's average daily balance. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each balance and multiply it by the number of days that that balance was in effect. So for example, that first case, 7 days of $456.11, we're going to multiply by 7. The next, the 3 days, the next, the 6 days, the next, the 9 days, the next, the 5 days. So for each balance, we're going to multiply it by the number of days she owed that balance. All right, so if I add up all the days, okay, we're going to get 30, which is what you'd expect, because this is for 1 month, all right? Then if I add up all the balances multiplied by the number of days, I get a certain amount, a total balance here. Now, I'm going to take that balance that I've got, the $43,248.05, and divide it by 30 days, and that's going to give me my average daily balance of $1,441.60. So this is how you calculate average daily balance, okay? All right, let's look at one last example. Now, Rebecca, from the previous example, pays a finance charge on her average daily balance. We figured out her average daily balance was $1,441.60. Her APR is 18%. What is her finance charge for this billing cycle? So what we're going to do is, first of all, figure out what her monthly interest is, okay? And we simply take the 18%, divide it by 12, and her monthly interest rate is 1.5%. Next, in order to figure out the monthly finance charge, we're going to take her average daily balance up here of $1,441.60, all right, and multiply that by the interest rate as a decimal, which is now going to be 0.015, and we come out with her finance charge for this particular billing cycle is $21.62.